Hello there, fellow nobodies. My name is Nubify, and this is a show you've never heard of. This week we're covering some strange things, like Sony cutting off its own arm to be more aerodynamic, wireless laptop charging and how it's going to affect you later, or sooner, actually, than you might think, and then Rockstar getting sued. Again. Let's start things off with going into a little more detail with what Sony is doing to itself. Sony, the company that's actually producing the PlayStation 4 and doing well overall in the console wars, is actually trying to streamline and rebuild itself as a company. It's not doing so hot in that department. It's decided that it's going to close 20 out of 31 of its stores in the US, it's going to sell off the Veo PC side business thing to another entity, and it's going to somehow spin off all of its television services. This is a huge chunk that's going to be taken away from Sony, and they're hoping to reduce it by about 5,000 jobs and approximately $1 billion in fixed costs this year. Damn. If you're keeping up to date with modern technology and all the fun and portable things that happen with it, you've probably heard of a little company called the Alliance for Wireless Power. Even though this does sound like a rather strange sci-fi guild out of an MMO, the Alliance for Wireless Power is known to be experimenting with things called resonance, which is essentially a low-field magnetic resonant electro thing that goes into depths that I can't explain. The way it works right now is if you have something in a specific case with a magnetic backing, you would put it onto a hot contact spot, and that would actually create a wireless charging pad. Dell has signed up with the Alliance for Wireless Power to develop some sort of a wireless charger that goes with their laptops. It's supposed to fit into some sort of a cooling pad, and that way you can just put your laptop down and have it charging on your desk with no cables or clutter or anything. Sounds awesome, except for I still hate Dell. I hate you. You blow up, your batteries are bad. I hate you, Dell. No. For those of you who are keeping up with the supposed spiral into oblivion that Nintendo has started, you may have heard that they've gotten some advice from a hedge fund management company called Oasis Management based out of Hong Kong, trying to balance the books here and there and pick up a few ideas on how they can try and dig themselves out of this hole. Well, they've turned around and said, go, run into mobile gaming really fast and hard, and I sincerely disagree with this. I don't think that's a great idea. I don't want to pay 99 cents to make Mario jump higher, and no, that's not good. How about you just take it easy on Mario and bring up some of your other franchises, because we haven't had a good Metroid game since Prime, and fuck you guys for the other M. You've got some good franchises under your belt, you have a lot of growing room and potential here. Don't put it on a phone. Do not put it on a phone. Rockstar, the developers of the Grand Theft Auto series, is being sued by a former reality TV star, Karen Gravano, because of somehow her likeness and story has been used in the Grand Theft Auto 5 game. She says that this is her story to tell and it's all inappropriate and shit, and there's somehow some side mission that's exactly like her, so she wants $40 million. That's totally reasonable, right? 40 million for something that supposedly is like you? No. Fuck. For those of you who are somehow disappointed that Ghostbusters 3 is still moving forward without Harold Ramis, Burnout Paradise did something completely awesome on February 26th. If you happen to have been online and playing with this, you could have raced in the Ecto 1 for free. Absolutely, completely free. You could have downloaded the skin and raced the car and been all burnouty and paradisey, and I think it's a stuntman game, but I really don't know, so this is just, that's an awesome thing. More people need to do this. That was great for recognition, but I really don't know what this game is, so I can't quite elaborate. Sorry guys. Better luck next time. Just when you thought it was only Sony making all the questionable decisions with their video games and other departments and all kinds of crazy things, Microsoft pulls an amazing move out of the bag, and I totally mean that sarcastically, by hiring the former CEO of Nokia to run their entire Xbox department. Dramatic pause. Cell phone dude running console wars. Moving on. Touching back on Nintendo a little bit, for those of you who are still playing with your Wii's and DS's like I am, I have some bad news for you. Nintendo has announced they will be shutting down services for the Wii and the DS. It will still run services completely for the 3DS and the Wii U, but the older generation's kinda getting shafted here. Anyone who's been following video games online with things like YouTube and Twitch know that you have to have either a really good live streaming program with a computer, or you have to have something really configured and hardwired and something with a video capture card that's a little beyond my depths. Well, if you've invested into the next-gen consoles at all, you know that the PlayStation 4 already has an application built in to live stream on Twitch, and the Xbox One is going to release one with the release of Titanfall. I believe that's in the middle of March coming up. So now both next-gen consoles will be fully enabled for live streaming on Twitch. Just when you thought I couldn't go an entire video without mentioning Titanfall, the developers, Respawn Studios, are now in a lot of hot water, with people suggesting that they bribed the press for good coverage. They've just recently hit open beta, and there have been ebbs and flows in the coverage here, and good reactions and bad reactions, and a lot of people that seem to be rather underwhelmed. Well, on one side they say that paying for press is absolute insanity. There is another company that says, and I'm quoting here, "The concept that money did not cross hands for this is just as ridiculous as believing that your secret Nigerian uncle is a prince." Yeah. You guys have fun with that. Good luck with Titanfall. I'm not buying it. Now to kind of wrap things up, we're going to touch on some good and some bad with one of my favorite games ever, Dark Souls. For those of you who don't know what Dark Souls is, it is a third-person medieval fantasy RPG that's designed to make you slow down, act defensively, and observe your surroundings a little more than the average game. It is not at all afraid to punish you at certain turns. It's full of booby traps, difficult enemies, and annoying things that tend to kill you. Like dragons that'll swoop down and crispy fry you in the face with fire that you didn't even see coming, or you walk through a fog gate and a giant goat-headed demon decides to crush you with 2 swords and his dogs chew on you. Yeah, it's a hard game, but it's really fun and you get this great sense of accomplishment. It is definitely one of my favorite titles. If you enjoy a challenge, pick this up. On to the actual relevant section here. Fox News, that lovable media outlet that makes everything laughable and ridiculous, have recently tried to tie Dark Souls to the recently convicted Craigslist killer. Considering that she started killing things in 2007 and Dark Souls wasn't released until 2011, good try, but what the fuck? Video games do not make serial killers. Video games do not make people better at killing people. Video games are video games. And considering that your strongest defense was that she was influenced by video games and video type things, you're talking out your ass and everyone knows. Go sit in the corner and play with yourself more. On a lighter note, if you do know what Dark Souls is and you have played it, then I've got some great news for you. On March 11th, Dark Souls 2 is going to be released on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. For those of you who are going, oh wait, no, there's new consoles, yeah, shut up, this thing's been in development for a while and it's coming out on the old ones first. It will later be released on PC, but the date has not been confirmed yet. It will be available to download through Steam, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm probably going to get it on the 360. Online play is a little evil, but things are looking really, really good for this one. They're supposed to be bringing in some new enemies and a few new bosses, and a really interesting concept that I want to know if they were able to execute. So that about wraps it up this week. We're going to watch Sony start to take the downward spiral that everyone has been accusing Nintendo of. We're going to watch Nintendo go into mobile gaming, and we're going to watch Microsoft have its Xbox department run by a former cell phone CEO executive type person thing, and see what happens with that. If you have anything to contribute or know anything else about these rumors and or news articles, please leave something in the comment section below, and most importantly, thanks for watching. This is Number 5 signing out. After credits! For those of you who want to know what to be looking forward to on the new console releases this year, you've got the Watch Dogs, you have Final Fantasy 15, you have Kingdom Hearts 3, you have Super Smash Bros. Wii U, and you have Mario Kart 8, all coming out this year, but none of these actually have set dates yet. Have fun.